The abundance portal is open. Raise your vibration and come on in. Hello, hello, hello. You are listening to or watching the Manifest on Purpose show. I am your host of the show, Kimbaley. And yes, you heard me right. We're in the abundance portal. We're going to talk about what the abundance portal is. But first, I want to thank you for being here. I want to thank you for sharing your time with me. Thank you for all of those you have decided to share this with. And thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing here and on the website at Kimbaley, KIMBALEY.com. The God in me loves the God in you. The very first thing that we're going to get into is our astro-numerology forecast for today, courtesy of astronumerologist Lloyd Strayhorn and the Star 8 mobile numerology app. It is Thursday, December the 19th. The sun is in Sagittarius. The moon is in Leo. It's an 11 universal month, a 5 universal week, a 3 universal day. When it comes to pushing your creative ambitions today, you should think of it as being on a mission. And the mission is not to let anyone get of the way of convincing or dissuading you from your intended purposes. Remember, there are those who may not have the same ambition as you, and that's okay. The point, however, is not to let them get in the way of whatever your goals are by distracting you from what others are obviously not able to see at this moment. Pisces, Sagittarius, and those born on the 3rd, 12th, 21st, and 30th of any month should set their goal, mission, or purpose as high as they possibly can. Once again, that is the astronumerology forecast for today, and that report is courtesy of astronumerologist Lloyd Strayhorn. You can find that app at a star 8, ASTAR, the number 8.com. You can find it on the Google Play, the App Store, and you can find it at linktree/numbers and you. Also, in 2025, astronumerologist Lloyd Strayhorn has created the Power Series. It's a series of powerful lectures to help get you through the year of 2025. The very first one is on January the 21st, and he's going to be talking about the power of your numerical cycles. Not only will you learn how to find these cycles, you'll learn what this means for you. Make sure that you click the QR code that's in the bottom of the flyer, and you can always go to linktree/numbers and you. You know, it's so hard to believe that we've only got a little more time left in this year. It's almost 2025. Do you have your strategy in place for 2025? You should never start anything without your strategy. That's what we mean by manifest on purpose. Make sure that you have your strategy for 2025 by getting your astronumerology forecast for the year. You'll be able to determine what type of year you will have personally. And not only that, what you can expect month by month so that you can prepare and plan for success throughout 2025. You can get that at Kimbaley, KIMBALEY.com. And I'm also going to help you get off on the good foot, get started On January 1st, 2025. It's the Vision Board Mastery, of course. You're going to be learning the power of visualization. You'll also be learning visualization tips and techniques, including creating your very own vision board. You'll be able to speak that into existence with the collective. And we will conclude with a collective guided visualization activity to help you plant the seeds of 2025 into the fertile soils. Make sure you catch that vision board mastery. You can click on the QR code, and you can also go to Kimbaley.com. You know, the strange thing about this, and I should know better because we are in the shadow period of Mercury retrograde, but earlier today, I had already recorded this message all the way through. It was only during the editing process that I learned that there was no sound to the video. And apparently something happened to my microphone and I did not know. And I'm serious, I had the whole message. I had went through everything from the beginning to the end, and that message was not saved. And the part that hurts me so much is it was a good message. It was a good message for everything. I'll just give you a brief description of what that message was saying. That message was saying this is going to be a great positive transformation for everybody that's coming up. And in the 1 through 9 reading, it was telling each birthday number what they can do to prepare for this amazing opportunity that's going to come into your life shortly. But just keep that in mind. When I read the forecast for today, what Lloyd was saying in the forecast about don't worry about what other people say, and that was all in that message. It was pretty much saying that don't worry about what other people say. It was saying this is something that you have to do, and you have to begin to put yourself first above everything that's coming into you. So that's what that was. But I wish I could have saved it. But apparently there's another message for you here today. And I'm going to get started by telling you what the abundance portal is and what it's all about. The abundance portal is the time of the week that we come together, and it's always Thursday. The reason why we do it on Thursday is because Thursday is Jupiter Day, and we know Thursday represents abundance, luck, expansion. So that's why the abundance portal is open on Thursdays. And during these Thursday abundance portals, we get the message from the oracle cards, my intuition, the numbers, the numerology on the cards, and it gives us something that we should focus on about abundance for the rest of the week. What I really want you to do when you come into this space, because this is a portal, I want you to be in the energy of abundance. Or if you're not in the energy of abundance, you're here to raise your vibration to that energy of abundance. And I tell people the best way to do that is to bring in some things when you watch this video that you like to have near you that represents abundance. And for everybody, because some people have different interpretations of what abundance is. Abundance is not just money, but it is a plentifulness of the good things of life. And it also does represent prosperity. So when I talk abundance, I'm talking abundance in whatever area in your life that you're seeking abundance. If it's love, I want you to have an abundance of love. If it's happiness, I want you to have an abundance of happiness. But if it's money, I want you to have that too. So it's all up to you, and it can be all of the above. So today I'm going to use my Money and the Law of Attraction deck. This is by Esther and Jerry Hicks. For the advice card, it's going to be my Trusty Dusty Trust Your Vibes deck by Sonia Chakwet. And for our affirmation at the end, it's going to be Notes from the Universe on Abundance by Mike Dooley. Sorry, Mike. So today, for abundance, my ladybug landed, as you can see. Yep, I like her. She's beautiful. She's a different one. She's bigger. I like all of them though. And I also brought, gotta be careful with this one, my food dogs. Yeah. The food dogs are also called Chinese guardian lions. If you take notice, sometimes when you see like this large home and you just know that this wealthy person stays in there, sometimes you'll see a big gate out front and then you see a lion on each side of the gate. And there's a couple of those statues in DC as well. But they use the food dogs as a symbol of protection. I have an abundance table, and on my abundance table, the very first thing on my abundance table is my food dogs. And this is such a memory when I think about this. It's so funny because I said I had to be careful about how I picked it up. And it's tied to a story. My oldest granddaughter used to come visit a lot, and she would stay for lengthy periods of time. For some reason, when she began to start walking, there was a few places in the home that I kept closed because I didn't want her in those areas. And that was A, the bathroom, B, my bedroom, and 3, this room. And the reason why I don't want her in this room, because this room is kind of like my workspace slash my sacred space. So in this space, you'll find all of my metaphysical and spiritual tools and all types of things. And I don't childproof this area. So that's why these areas are the areas that I closed the door so that she couldn't get in. Well, that worked all fine and dandy until she got old enough to start turning the knobs. I don't know why. Well, I do have a feeling I know why. This room was the only room that she would come to. It was like, and she's a Gemini, so she's fast. She only had her focus on one room. So it was like she was thinking like she had a plan. Whenever someone's not paying attention, I'm going to run to that room first. If I have my choice, I'm going to go to that room first. And I guess because it's so interesting in there, but also just now that I'm thinking, this used to be her father's room when he stayed here. So I'm sure maybe some of his energy is here because, you know, he has some things that are still here that I hold on to as keepsakes. But she comes in here first. And of all of the things that she loves to touch when she comes in here, she runs to my abundance table first, which is the most far space in the entire room. So on one particular day, she tricked me. She was faster than what I thought. She came in the room, she got to the abundance table, and she picked up the food dog. And she saw me come in the room, and she got nervous and she dropped the dog. And so it broke my little puppy's leg. But It just so happens that on the 3 legs he can still stand, and if I get my glue gun out and give it just a little dab of glue, it will probably be good. But yeah, that's the memory that I have tied into that. Every time I see these dogs, I think about that day. But anyway, we're going to get into this reading. The way that you find, I'm going to start with the universal reading, which means the reading for everybody. And after the universal reading, I'm going to read the birthdays from 1 to 9. Here's how you find out what your birthday number is. Your birthday number is the day you were born on. If you're born on the 4th of the month, your birthday number is a 4. If you're born on the 13th of the month, when you got 2 or more digits, you need to combine those or add those until you can reduce it down to a single digit. So the 1 plus 3 would equal 4, which is a single digit. So the 4 would still be your birthday number. And I'll also let you know what the ruling zodiac sign is. So you can listen to it by your birthday. You can listen to it by your zodiac sign, or you can listen to both readings because both readings might resonate with you. And if there is something that resonates with you and you want to go a little deeper into it, or you're just interested in a deeper consultation, make sure that you reach out to me at Kimbaley.com, where you can find how to schedule a more in-depth consultation. So let's get started with the universal reading. I can't believe that I lost that whole reading. Wow. I don't know what Jeannie was thinking. Jeannie wants you to have 2 readings today. Now cards are jumping out. Is Jeannie saying they need more? And whenever you hear me talk about Jeannie, Jeannie is my higher self. And yeah, I talk to her because she is me. She is me. She's the one that gets me. Wow. And it's kind of like the same reading, kind of, but it's still a little different. This is the number 45 card. It is not my role to make other people happy. And this is the cornerstone card. When I say the cornerstone card, this is the very first card for this entire reading. So the cornerstone means this is the foundational card. So this is like the theme. And when you look at the theme, you got the numbers, the 4 and the 5. It's the 9. It is the same energy as the reading earlier. This was one of the cards, but it wasn't the cornerstone card. But it's almost the exact same in nature. It means that it's time for you to let these opinions that you're hearing from other people go, because some of these opinions are what's really holding you back. It may feel to you as if sometimes you may be taking 1 step forward and 2 steps back. Have you ever noticed that when you take that 1 foot forward, something is pulling you back or someone is pulling you back? The energy that I'm feeling is no one can do anything to you other than what you allow it. This means no people pleasing. Sorry. I know you're a good person. Know you are humanitarian. You want the best for others, but it's not your role to be a people pleaser. And that's what you're going to have to recognize. Don't let people make decisions for you. This message is deep today because I'm telling you, this is the same kind of message that came through before. And some of the things that they're telling you is there's a shortage. And this is an 11. It says shortages of time or money are perceptual. meaning that it's your perception. Even when you look at this card, it's a clock, and there's a waterfall over the clock. And it's letting you know that what you consider to be time, because what I'm hearing is somebody is getting all of these opportunities and so much insight is coming to this person, and this person is saying, I don't have time now. I don't have time now. And what they're doing is they're disillusioning themselves. They're creating their own reality. And that reality is, I don't have time. So this right here means that you're going to have to find a different way to look at things. Another energy that I'm feeling from this card, and it won't let me move on. Another reason when I'm feeling from this card, okay, so this is the 5611. So what this card is telling me is the number 5 is one of those popular people. A lot of people know number 5 because number 5 always getting around, and then you got the number 6. The 6 likes to be of service. So that's why you're seeing that you don't have enough time, because you're spending or you're using the time that you have all on others. You're not using any of this time on yourself, or you're not using enough of this time on yourself. So you're going to have to change it up. You're going to stop making people happy and do what it takes to make you happy. And this is the number 46 card. My what is need not influence what is becoming. So what these people coming and telling you, what you're hearing from other people about, because sometimes people won't believe in you, because one of the sayings that one of the scriptures that I love in the Bible, and I'm paraphrasing this, and I don't know where it is, but it's a prophet goes without honor in his own home. And the way that I interpret that is that most of the time, the ones that are closest to you are not going to be the ones that support you. And when I say closest to you, what I really mean is those who were raised with you, your family, your best friends since kindergarten, those people that have been knowing you all your life. 9 times out of 10, they're not going to be the ones that support you most. But it's not their fault. This is not blaming them. It's because they're looking at who you used to be, and they cannot see who you are becoming, or who you have become. A lot of times, then I will say this for myself, I don't openly go around and discuss the things that I believe with all of my family and all of the people that I'm close to, because I know a lot of people won't see me in that way. A lot of people can't see me in that way. And it may even be the same thing for you. And you still have these people sometimes coming in trying to manage your life or tell you what the best thing for you to do. And really, they don't even know who you are anymore. But sometimes you just go along with it because you feel like it's something that you got to do because you want to please that person, or it's your duty or your responsibility, because this 4 and 2 adds up to a 6. This is talking about family right here. This is talking about family. You feel like it's your duty and your responsibility to really please these people. And that's not always the case. You have to do what's best for you, because until you can take care of yourself the way you need to be taken care of, you won't be able to take care of anybody else. This is not saying cut people off, but what this is saying is you have to mind your needs, or like we used to say, you have to tend to your needs before you tend to anybody else's. Okay. And we got one more. This is the 30 card. And it says, it comes not by magic, but by universal law. When I saw this card, I heard potato, potato. It's all the same thing. No matter how you look at it, no matter how you describe it, people are not going to be unable to understand it because they're just not. So what you're going to have to understand, because this is a number 3 card, you have to believe in yourself. Don't believe in the magic. You are the magic. Okay? So make sure that you're believing in yourself. Don't count on or wait for these other people for validation. You don't need that. Everything you need, you have it right within yourself. So what this is really talking about is, once again, being true to yourself. It doesn't matter what people are saying, because at the end of the day, you know, they'll be gone and you'll still be moving on. You know, they may not believe in you, but just because they don't believe in you doesn't mean that you shouldn't believe in yourself. That's one of the biggest reasons why you should believe in yourself, because you can't depend on nobody else to do it. The number 3 card came up. This is the 6, and this is the 2 3s. So when I look at the 2 3s together, the 3 is a card of expression, you know, but the expression that this card is telling you to take this week is to walk in silence. Walk in silence, because a lot of times when you're walking in silence, people can't guess what's happening next. People can't plan or make their move on you the way that they want to, or they can't feel comfortable just coming up trying to tell you any old thing, because they don't know what state of mind you in when you are seeking solitude. And while you're seeking solitude, what you need to be doing, because this is a number 6 energy, you need to be learning more about yourself. What this is saying is, for so long, so many people have told you so many things about yourself. You've heard so much about yourself. Now it's time to introduce you to the real you. Not what this person says about you and what your characteristic is. Not what that person thinks about you. You need to be focused on yourself at this time, seeking solitude. And now we're going to move on to the number 1. That's if you're born on the 1st, the 10th, the 19th, or the 28th of the month. That makes you a number 1. Or if you're born under the sign of Leo or Aquarius, you are a number 1. Okay, number 1. The 32-5. My attention to it invites the essence of it. Your life can be just as good or just as bad as you want it to be. You don't want to hear what people are saying about you. You don't have to listen to it. But what's going to happen is, if you continue to listen to it, Some people do that. I don't even like to do that. I don't want to hear what you got negative to say about me. That's none of my business how you feel about me. And once you find out, you begin to be focused on that. And when you focus on that, more of that attention is going to come to you. So don't worry about what other people are saying. Pay it no mind. There's so much more to do in life that will help you learn and grow than to listen to something negative that somebody else is saying. But my question is, if this person has so much negativity for you, what are they doing to themselves? And please don't tell me that this whole reading is about me talking junk to these people that are bothering you in your life. That's what it feels like. Number one, it's time for crayons. It's time to get back to your creativity. It seems to me that you have been putting some things down that you really want to do. And the reason why you put them down is because you were afraid what other people would have to say about it. It's not happening. It's not happening. Don't worry about that. You just stick to your creativity. You're so much more advanced than they are. Don't listen to them. You listen to them and you'll be in that position where you're taking 2 steps back. Yes. And this is the number 6 card. This speaks about being creative, approaching things from a different perspective. And this is number 1. This is creativity. Ruled by the sun. Creativity. So be creative. And we're going to move on to the number 2. Born on the 2nd, the 11th, the 20th, and the 29th of the month. You are a number 2. Or if you come under the sign of Cancer. Okay, number 2. 27-9. I will praise success wherever I see it. Sometimes you may look at your life and think that I don't have this, I don't have that, and it may not be quite where you want it to be. However, there are some people that are waiting in the background that's trying to get to the stage that you are in your life. What I'm saying is, you may not be in what you consider to be the best space in your life, but at the same time, you've grown from where you were before. A win is a win all day. This card is telling me that you need to count the small wins. And this is the 27-9 card. It's time for you to stop hiding your gifts, talent, skills, and ability. There's so much more that you could be doing at this point. And it seems like I've talked to the number 2 about this before, the same situations. Stop holding back what you have and be grateful for those things. Sometimes we like to be modest. This is not a time for you to be modest. The gifts that you were given are here for a reason. So let them shine, number 2. Let them shine. And a lot of people will end up holding back because they're afraid of what other people might say. Oh, she's bragging. She's doing this. No, you be grateful and appreciative for everything you get. Because if you get it, that means that at some point in your life, you earned it. Okay, number 2, let me see what your advice card is. This is the pray card. And this is the 31-4. This should be your foundation right here. And this is the way I like to teach people how to pray is called affirmative prayer. And it's so spiritual that this came up. Affirmative prayer is different than most people think prayer should be like. You're not going in, you're not asking the source for this, you're not requesting that. But what you're doing is you're going in to just say thank you for what I already have. And those desires, you count that in the already have list as well. So this right here is saying that this is what you need to focus on doing more. Because when you continue to affirm these things will continue to show up in your life because it's repetition. It attracts things to you because you are actually offering your subconscious mind a suggestion in that state. So make sure that you're using this affirmative prayer technique. And maybe this is something that I can go into a little more detail in a different show or something like that. But I think that this is a good technique for a lot of people to work with. Now we're going on to the number 3, born on the 3rd, the 12th, the 21st, or the 30th of the month. That means you are number 3, or if you're born under the signs of Pisces or Sagittarius. Whoops, whoops, whoopsies. This is the 57 card. It says, I can create both money and the time to enjoy it. And there goes that thing again about perception. Stop believing that there's a shortage. Stop believing that there's a shortage. Stop limiting your beliefs, because a lot of times we'll say that the cause of my limited beliefs is XYZ, when really the cause of your limiting belief is because of the things that you think about and the things that you focus on and the things that you believe in. Okay? Because when you look at the number 12 as well, and it goes back to the overall theme, the number 12, it says, be careful of being taken advantage of by others. Yeah. So don't let people make you feel like you have to work yourself to, I'm not going to say that word, but don't let people think that you have to work hard and able to be able to enjoy your time. That's one of those misconceptions that a lot of people think, if I work hard enough, then I'll make enough money. But that's just only one perspective of that side of it. Let's see what the advice cards say. Time for you to get back to the basics. This is the number 4 card. This means that it's time for you to do something that you haven't been doing for the longest amount of time. Simplify your life. Simplistic living. What's it? There's another phrase they use for that. But just live simply. You don't have to be all elaborate about life. Just simply live. Take things back to the basics. Now, let me tell you, I like my internet. I like the phone a little bit. But I think a lot if I could go back to those days when there was no telephone and things like that. I would really enjoy that. I know what it is, the minimalistic life. So I think that that's something that I would kind of enjoy. And this is what this card is saying to you, number 3. There's so many things that you want to do. You want to do it big, but perhaps now is the time to get back to the basics. Do what's necessary to get to where you want to get to. That's simple enough. What about for number 4, born on the 4th, the 13th, the 22nd, or the 31st of the month, or come under the sign of Aquarius or Leo? You are a number 4 person. Okay, number 4. What do I want? And why do I want it? This is actually the number 13 card, which is the number 4. The number 4 sometimes be doing so much that they don't even know what it is that they want. And it may be hard for them to make up their mind. Ruled by Uranus, I can understand how that can very much happen because Uranus is always change. Uranus represents sudden change, quick change. So 4s, you might be passionate about something in one moment, but in the next moment, you're like, oh, what was I thinking about? So number 4, what this energy is saying to you, that what you need to do is you need to start creating strategies. Number 4, you're a strategist as it is, but you have to be able to activate that within your life. So what this means is no more, I want this, I want that. You remember, it's almost a holiday season. Do you remember back in the 80s? I think it seemed like all of these commercials would come on with these nice toys and the children would see it and you would look at it and be like, I want that, I want that. And you just wanted it because you saw it. Or like my parents used to say, your eyes are bigger than your stomach. Sometimes you think it's something that you really, really want. But when you go back to look at it later, you're like, nah, that's not it. So how to avoid that is to make sure that you are really strategizing, and that strategy starts with your intention, knowing what you want and why you want it. Now, when you're aligning with that manifestation, you can look back at your journal and say, oh, I want this because of this. And then things will begin to align for you and things will begin to become more clear for you, number 4. And it will actually prevent you from wasting your time on things that you really don't want. That's for you, number 4. And let's see what this advice is for you, number 4. Accept the gifts from the universe. This is the number 51 card. And yes, I smile. Number 51 card is the opposition to the number 6. Wow. When you look at it with the number 4, like I said, it's ruled by the planet Uranus and can represent sudden and unusual changes, right? So now we're talking about the number 6. 6 is strategic. 6 is like strategies. 6 usually have a specific way of doing things. So what this means Number 4 is that you need to meet people in the middle. Everything that comes to you is not fake. You know, number 4, the thing that you have to get used to, because to me, this feels like a trust issue, a lot of times. And then with that number 4, the number 1 is interchangeable with the number 4. And when you look at the number 1, one thing about the number 1 is, hey, Leo's got his pride, so you have a certain amount of pride. So sometimes it's hard for you to accept the gifts of the universe. But in order to acquire what you desire, you have to be willing to accept it in any form that it comes to you. So sometimes you may think, if it don't look in this way, if it don't come with a big pretty red bow on it, it's not for you. You need to get past that, number 4. You need to get past this. The gifts are here waiting for you. There's open opportunities for you, but you're going to have to be strategic about how you move in life. Okay, number 5, this one's for you. This is if you're born on the 5th, the 14th, the 23rd of the month, or if you come under the signs of Gemini, you are a number 5. So funny. Number 5, you got whatever I desire, I can acquire. So this means think big, number 5. This means that it's time for you to elevate your mindset. Things are going to be opening up for you, but at the same time, you're going to have to be able to bloom, stretch, and grow. And you're going to do that by elevating the way that you speak about yourself, elevating the way that you think about yourself, and elevating the way that you see others. Same thing with everybody else. Don't worry about what people say you can and what you can't have. Just have that belief in yourself, because this is the number 3 card, that you can have anything that you desire. This is a nice follow-up for you, number 5. I'm looking forward to some big things happening for number 5s this year coming up, as well as for everybody, because like I said, the reading that I did earlier is saying that it's going to be some expansion for everybody this year coming up in several different ways. So be on the looks out for it. And number 5, this is saying, make sure that you're using your creative visualization skills, because this is the master number 11 card. And what this is saying is, you may have to change the way that you do things, because 5, you're kind of impulsive, right? So when you look at this 11 card, this 2 card, you're going to have to slow it down and be more patient and more understanding, because the 5 does not have a lot of patience, but it's saying that at this moment you're going to have to be patient. And if you look at this figure in this card, this figure is leaning down, so we know that 5 is all over the place. But it's time for you to be patient, and it's time to sit and wait for things to unlock for you. Now let's go on to the number 6, and you are a 6 if you're born on the 6th, the 15th, or the 24th of the month, or if you come under the signs of Taurus and Libra. This is the number 8 card. You know what? It never fails. Every time I get a number 6 card, it seems as if the number 8 card appears. Or when I get a number 8 card, the 6 card appears. You guys seem to be locked at the hip. Appreciation and love are identical vibrations. I told you there's a difference between gratitude and appreciation. Number 6, appreciation and love are identical vibration. Wow, number 6. Don't think that you can just love up on people and think that everything is fine. You also have to appreciate those people. And it's the same thing. If a person cannot appreciate you, they cannot love you, number 6, and vice versa. If a person cannot love you, they cannot appreciate you. So know that it's a two-way street. It's two sides of the same coin, number 6. So what this energy is telling you is that you need to learn how to be able to know when a person really appreciates you, know when a person really loves you, know when they're trying to tell you something because it's coming from the heart. And number 5 is here with this 3. So we're talking about this expression, this ever-changing expression. If sometimes this person seems to be in appreciation of you, or sometimes this person seems to love you, and other times it don't, that tells you something about that person. It should reveal something about that person to you. And it could be in any relationship. This right here, this energy just feels like a straight up relationship energy right here. But it could be a relationship between anybody. It could be between your child. It could be between your parents. It could be between your co-workers, your boss. This could be an intimate relationship. But what this energy is saying, number 6, pay attention to how a person appreciates you, because we already know that what you appreciate adds value to something. And if a person cannot appreciate you, then they're not adding value to your life, number 6. And I didn't say that. Jeannie said that, and the card said it. So I'm just going to step out of the way and read the advice card. Sleep on it. And this is the number 5 card. Sleep on it. You need to take time, number 6, to get your mind right. And that time to get your mind right might be the time that you get your answer or your insight about the situation, and how you should approach it. Instead of just making an impulsive decision, and instead of just doing something that you might regret later doing, think about that thing all the way through, number 6. So let's go on to the number 7. You're number 7 if you're born on the 7th, the 16th, or the 25th of the month, or come on the sign of Cancer. This is a 26-8 card, number 7. And it says, whenever I am feeling good, I am attracting good. So, number 7, this says, make sure that your vibrations are high all of the time. Because as long as you're in that high vibrational flow, then things will start to line up or continue to line up for you. When you're in that flow, that high state of vibration for a long period of time or an extended period of time. Esther Hicks calls this being in the vortex. This is how things can manifest very quickly for you. It's because you don't have to stop and take your time to elevate or raise your vibrations. You're already in an elevated state. So sometimes it's just something as simple as a thought, a vision that can materialize for you just by staying in that high vibration. So, number 7, make sure that you're taking advantage of that. Keep your vibration high. And as we go back to the theme of the entire reading, make sure that you don't let anybody throw you off your center. Forget what anybody else is saying. Forget what everybody else is doing. It's you, number 7. You do what makes you happy and you do what makes you feel best, number 7. And let me see what your advice card is, number 7. Get a new story. That's the 41-5 card. This means tell everybody some good things about yourself. Make sure that everybody hears the most positive things about yourself at all times. Don't let people trick you. Let me tell you how people trick you. And this may be a little bit off center, but sometimes, like, when people know that you have been under the weather or something, they'll call you and they'll set you up with this question. They'll say, "How you feeling?" And you know how you feel physically, but at the same time, you're trying to stay in that positive vibration. And so they go on talking to you, and before long, you find yourself telling this person that you're still not feeling good. Well, every time you do that, you hold yourself back some. So, what you have to do is tell yourself a positive story and tell other people that same story as well, number 7. Now it's time for you, number 8. Let's see if you get a 6 card. Number 8 birthday is if you're born on the 8th, the 17th, or the 26th of the month, or if you come under the sign of Capricorn, you listen to this number 8 reading. No, you got a number 11 card. A lot of people get in the master number 11 card. This is the 47. And it says, "My career is one of creating a joyful life experience." Wow. So this right here is saying that it's kind of like you're in the stage of planning your life. You may be in the stage of planning your life, or you may be coming up on that time when you're ready to start planning part of your life or the rest of your life, or some parts, or some I'm hearing business, or it's something that you're planning right now. And what this is saying is, number 1, you need to realize that you are creating your life experience. And the next thing that you need to be aware of is that you need to make this as joyous as it should be. So it's like creating a vision for your desired life. It goes back to number 4 when it talked about creating that strategy. So the question that you're being asked right now, number 8, is what is your strategy? We know, number 8, you like to stick to the tried and true. But this card right here is telling you that now it's time for you to see the vision, and it's time for you to move forward with the vision. And it may be kind of hard for you. You may feel kind of stuck because, like I said, you want to do things the way that it's always worked for you. But you'd be surprised at how things may happen if you go out there and you try to do something that you did not do before. If you actually stick to a vision that brings you joy. This is almost always how it happens, number 8. You begin to start doing things according to your vision, and people will come to you and like, "What's wrong? You haven't been doing things like this." And it makes you think, "Hey, that person's right. I haven't been doing this before. Let me go back to what I'm most comfortable with. Let me go back to what's been working all this long time. And the matter of the fact is, you may have been stuck in that same space for so long, you just think it works. It may not even really be working. So follow your vision. I just find that it's so strange that there's always a million and one people that can tell you what's best for you to do. Sometimes you just got to go with your vision. Let's see what your advice card. Aura cleanse. You've been getting this on the regular 8. You need to cut these people out your life that's trying to tell you what you need to do, what you should and what you should not be doing. This is the number 3, the 32 card, which adds up to a number 5. What I'm feeling is you're back and forth in your mind from one thing to another. You know, you get stable about this one vision and you start working on it, and then people come in and tell you that this is not how it's supposed to be. This is not how you need to do it. This is not how you need to handle it. And this is the time, number 8, where you're going to have to stand firm and you're going to have to protect yourself from these people. And it's nothing scary. All you really have to do is distance yourself. These visions that are coming into you at this moment in time, you don't have to tell everybody. Don't tell anybody until you start building on it, number 8, because you don't need anybody to come in and, just like our forecasts say today, to cause distractions in your life. It's so amazing how both of these card readings came up to the same thing that was said in our forecast for today. So in addition to listening to this, I want you to go back to the beginning once you're done and listen to that forecast, everybody. And so let's go on to the number 9. You're number 9. If you're born on the 9th, the 18th, or the 27th of the month, that makes you a number 9. Or if you come under the signs of Aries, Scorpio, or Leo, you are a number 9 person. Oh, that's not nice, number 9. Throw that card on the deck for me. On the floor. This is the 16-7. My attention to unwanted attracts more unwanted. The more you keep crying that song, number 9, you don't want this and you don't want that, guess what's going to happen? This or that, because that is the song that you are crying. You're going to have to change the way that you do things. You're going to have to change the way that you look at things. When I think about the number 16, I think about the planet of Neptune. That's a very spiritual number. You know, its meaning to me is what I feel about the number 7 card. What I feel about the number 7 personally, and being that it's ruled by Neptune, is you're in the world, but you're not of the world. You know that these things that you don't want are there. But what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to learn how not to pay attention to it. So what you're going to have to do is learn how to go within to change your vibration. And number 7 card was talking about vibration. So you need to follow suit, number 9. Go in to yourself, whether it's through meditation, whether it's through walking, whether it's just through sitting alone. And you need to really tap into self and pay attention to self. And once you pay more attention to self, trust me, you've got enough to pay attention to. You have so much to pay attention to that you won't even have time to be distracted by the things that you don't want. When you go in and you pay more attention to the positive aspects of yourself, you will continue to attract positivity into your life. So this is about changing the way that you look at things. Wayne Dyer says when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change, number 9. So let me read what your advice card says. Pretty much, yeah, this is the number 8 card, but it's telling you to name your higher self. You need to pay more time on the inside than you do worrying about what's going on around you, number 9. Because if you're more focused on inside, you won't even pay attention to that other stuff. I know when we were growing up, we had this habit as kids of saying, and we grew up in the South, so it wasn't a lot to do, but we always had a habit of saying, I'm bored. There's nothing to do. And whenever my parents or whoever was the adult was around, they would always say, if you go do some of those chores, then you won't be bored. You won't focus on being bored. And it's true. If you focus and spend more time on building yourself up, on going deep within to discover who you really are, you won't even have time to worry about what you don't want. When you focus on what you don't want, number 9, you constantly attract that to you. So the energy that came up in today's general reading, really, it really is just like the reading that I had earlier. I'm so upset that I was not able to say that reading because it was a very good reading. But the energy that we received in this reading is kind of similar to the reading that we had earlier. And actually, both readings are similar to the numerology forecast for today. It's saying that your purpose is not here to people please. Your purpose is not here to be worried about what other people are doing or trying to make other people happy, because happiness is something that begins within. If a person is not happy, no matter what you'll do, you'll never make them happy. That's something they're going to have to change for themselves. But at the same time, what this message is teaching you is that you have to be focused on you. You have to put self first. And as I said in that first reading, it's talking about great changes and transformations come for the universal collective. And what it's saying is you're going to have to stop worrying about what's happening outside of you and become more focused on what's happening within you. You're going to have to take care of self. This is self-care. You're going to have to focus on you. Get your self-esteem up. Get your confidence up. That's what you're going to have to do. And the only way that you can do that is through not paying attention to these things that other people are negatively saying about you, or not really trying to people please people, and really putting an end to the people pleasing. You can only do what you can do. Okay, so now what we're going to have is our affirmation. This is from the Notes of the Universe deck, and this by Mike Dooley. I got to get used to saying his name. You remember I had so much hard time with Sonia Chaquette. But the thing is, I know somebody with the same last name. So. Okay. That's what the card looks like. And it says, something wonderful is happening for you right now. From me, the universe. Now, see, that's I love how that works out. Thank you, Jeannie, because Jeannie is confirming the reading from earlier. This right here is letting you know that there's some big things that's about to take place for all of you. So make sure that you continue to come into this portal so that you can stay in alignment with what you want, or you can get in alignment with what you want. It's going to be important moving forward to have a strategy. There's no way of there's no such thing as just willy-nilly doing things. You know, the people that are successful have the best laid plans. It's no coincidence, you know, and it doesn't have to be things in a physical nature. It's mentally. The strategy starts in your mind. Well, that's our reading for today. I love you to life. This is how you manifest on purpose.